Number 12. Our lips are more delicate than you think. The neurons that represent our sense of touch occur in the brain's postcentral gyrus, and specific areas in the gyrus correspond to the sense of touch in specific body parts. The lips, along with the fingers, have the disproportionately largest areas, making them more sensitive than almost anywhere else in the body. Just like any other parts of our body, our mouths can do some pretty amazing things that most of us probably didn't know about. From digestion to taste to even kissing, our lips hold some pretty amazing secrets that should remind us just how important they are. Number 11. Wisdom teeth. Back in our evolutionary past, when we foraged for tough foods like nuts and roots, wisdom teeth were a necessary aid to grinding these foods up. Today, when we forage for processed foods in our cupboards, wisdom teeth are mostly useful for getting people to say stupid things under dental anesthetic. Did you know that 35% of the entire population is born without wisdom teeth? Researchers are unsure if this is due to evolution or culture. It is also estimated that roughly 85% of wisdom teeth need to be removed once they're grown in. This is because the teeth can become impacted, making them difficult to clean. Number 10. Kiss and tell. A study didn't find much evidence that the primary purpose of kissing was getting the two partners aroused. Instead, they found that kissing is a mate assessment test where people, especially women, find out if a potential mate is worth their while. Number 9. Your tongue is made up of multiple muscles. While the tongue isn't the strongest muscle in the body, it's one of the strangest. It's actually made up of 8 muscles, 4 intrinsic muscles, which change the tongue's shape, and 4 extrinsic muscles, which change its position. The extrinsic muscles are attached to the bone at one end, but the intrinsic muscles are the only ones in the body that aren't directly anchored to the bone. Number 8. Taste buds. The tongue isn't the only part of the body where you can find the taste buds. Of the approximately 10,000 taste buds in our mouth, 8,000 of them are on the tongue, and the rest of them are on the cheeks, lips, the roof of our mouth, and under our tongues. There are all sorts of other interesting facts about taste buds that most people don't even know. For example, did you know that a large part of our taste sensation happens in our brains? Cranial nerves and taste bud receptors in our mouths actually send molecules of the food we eat to the olfactory nerve endings, which are found in the roofs of our noses. When these molecules bind to nerve endings, they signal the olfactory bulb to send specific smell messages to the facial nerve and glossopharyngeal nerve. These taste and nerve messages move through our brain and team up with smell messages, which create the sensation of taste. And did you know that if you can't smell, you can't taste as well? This is because when you smell something, the brain is registering this sensation through the nose. Smells that come from the back of the throat activate the parts of our brains that are associated with certain signals from our mouths. Because a large part of taste involves odor, which travels to olfactory receptors in our brains, it only makes sense that if you can't smell, you won't taste much at all. Things like smoking cigarettes, broken noses, certain medications, or even head colds can also damage or block olfactory receptors, preventing them from sending signals to our brains and affecting our ability to smell. Number 7. X marks the spot. The X's and O's on the bottom of love letters have their origins in actual kisses. In medieval Europe, Many people could not read or write, so they signed documents with an X and then kissed it to show their sincerity. Number 6. The wrong pipe. Yes, when you choke on food, it might actually go down the wrong pipe. When you're swallowing food, the epiglottis closes over the windpipe like a trapdoor to stop food from going into your respiratory system. But the system isn't foolproof, especially when you're swallowing liquids, which move faster and are harder to manage. Number 5. Digestion actually starts in the mouth. Our saliva acts as a starter to break down carbohydrates thanks to an enzyme called amylase. The esophagus is a tube controlled by muscles and autonomic nerves that helps food to travel from the mouth to the stomach. As a person chews their food, chemical digestion begins by breaking down the food into simple nutrients. These nutrients can then be used by cells. When food is mixed with saliva, this chemical breakdown begins. Chewing is an extremely big part of the digestive process, but it is often overlooked. Chewing exposes the surface area on food particles that allow enzymes to begin digestion. If pieces of food are not chewed thoroughly, it puts stress on the digestive system, resulting in digestive difficulty. This is why people who have digestive issues or chronic illness should chew their food extremely thoroughly, as this will take the stress off of the body and also even help repair the digestive tract. Number 4. Tongue prints are a thing. If you ever find yourself at the scene of a crime, don't lick anything. Much like fingerprints, tongue prints are unique. Better not kiss anything either. Lip prints are thought to be idiosyncratic as well. Number 3. Speaking in tongues. The French kiss got its English name at the turn of the 20th century, when the comparatively reserved English saw France as a cesspool of licentious sexual practices. But the French word for the practice changed in 2013, when the Petit Robert 2014 French dictionary added the verb se galocher to kiss with the tongue. Before then, it was called un baiser amoureux, a lover's kiss, or un baiser avec la langue, a kiss with tongue. Number 2. H2O. Water may have no taste, but we need it to be able to taste anything. Our taste buds are able to pick up chemicals like salt and sugar because they are dissolved in our saliva. Much like kissing, if you try to eat with a dry mouth, you're not going to have a lot of fun. Saliva is the first fluid that comes in contact with food we eat, and believe it or not, we wouldn't be able to taste anything without saliva. This is because the chemicals from the food we eat must be dissolved in saliva to be detected by the receptors on our taste buds. Saliva is actually pretty interesting when you think about it. Did you know that a human can produce up to 2 bathtubs worth of saliva every year? Saliva also helps the wounds in our mouths heal faster than wounds anywhere else in our body. And if you've ever noticed that your mouth becomes ridiculously dry when you're nervous or scared, it's because saliva production is significantly reduced when you feel anxious. Number 1. The color of our lips. Why are the lips a different color from the rest of the face? The skin on our lips looks clearly different from the rest of our body. That is because it is much thinner in comparison. Skin usually has 3 separate layers: the stratum corneum, the epidermis, and the dermis. The protective stratum corneum is the outer layer that is visible. The epidermis is the layer of skin underneath it, and the dermis is the lowermost layer. The cells of the stratum corneum are dead, and they protect the body from the harsh outer environment. The epidermis is mostly responsible for producing new cells, melanocytes. The cells that produce melanin are also found in the epidermis. Melanin, as you might know, is the pigment that gives us our particular skin color once it's exposed to the sun. Breathing, eating, kissing, cursing out idiot motorists who forget to use their turn signals. All of these essential processes would be very difficult without our mouths. And though we use it all the time, we don't often think about what goes into making it work. The mouth is a busy thoroughfare where the respiratory system meets the digestive system, meets the nervous system, meets our need to yell profanities out the window going 60 miles an hour. And it's a complex feat of biological engineering that we can manage them at the same time. From hidden teeth to medieval kissing, from thin skin to assisted digestion, the mysteries of the mouth are manifold. Whew, try saying that 3 times fast. What other interesting facts about our mouths do you know about that weren't in this video? Let us know in the comments section below.
Enjoyed this video? Hit like, share, and subscribe to What the Facts. Wait, why don't you fact off with these other awesome videos? Go ahead, choose the left or the right video and enjoy.